Hey, welcome back to the Music Dungeon with me, Mac Plays Banjo. We got something special for you today, a little bit more Punch Brothers content. Yesterday I made a video, the Punch Brothers album tier list, which I thought was pretty good. You should go check that out if you haven't seen it. And today we're checking out this video, How to Play with Others by the Punch Brothers. This is kind of a workshop thing they did where they play some music and they take a lot of crowd questions, kind of talk about how they collaborate and just music in general, that sort of stuff. Lots of stuff to learn here. And also a great question to be answered. How good are these guys really? I mean, they're pretty good, but anyways, who am I to check out this video? Well, my name is Mac. I'm a banjo player extraordinaire. I own multiple banjos, including this one, which is, it's worth like $200, which is why I use it as just decoration. I never play it, but I'm pretty famous. I put up an Instagram reel that hit 1 million views the other day, which is basically literally the highest level of fame you can achieve. So I'm kind of a big deal is what I'm trying to say here. I also have a platinum record, which you can go listen to on Spotify. Everything I just said was a lie. But yeah, anyways, let's check this out. Should be a really good video here, lots to learn. I'm just here to offer my analysis, opinion, hopefully give my perspective, Anyways, let's just get right into it. So they are going to be playing a lot of music in here. I'm going to skip most of it because we're here for the question and answer, but be assured the music is quite good. I'll never understand people, they get towards middle age and like, oh, don't have the energy I used to. Well, Chris Thile is like 40 or something, and he still has the energy of like a hyperactive 4-year-old that's had 200 grams of sugar. Also, I went and saw Weird Al last year. Amazing show, by the way. It was incredible. But that dude's like 65, and he was just dancing around like crazy. He had a costume change like every song. And it was nuts. I mean, I'm way younger than either of these guys, and yet I feel like I would be exhausted after after doing what they're doing.
Thank you. Thanks very much. So those are three different looks at the kind of thing we're trying to do. Would love for this. So really, this one and the one to follow with this is how to play with others. Also, how to ring out a large diaphragm condenser microphone. See, already better. Thank you, Cinco. This and the next one, this is how to play with others. The next one is how to sing with others. Really, we'd love for it to be an opportunity to just kind of have a dialogue with y'all. This one sort of instrumentally focused, the next one vocally focused. So we'd really love at this point to and it can be questions just about anything. We really honestly just want to get a dialogue going with you.
Where do you buy your shirts? Do you take meth and or speed to get the energy for these concerts?
Right there, yes. How's it going?
I'm going to ask you a question that I really wanted to ask since the first time I saw you, and that is, to what extent do you use sheet music?
Oh.
And that's to say, when your arrangements, how much is composed versus how much is improvised?
Well, so we can start with that first tune.
The levels on that guy's question was like barely audible. I'll try and fix it in editing so you can hear it. But basically what he said, he asked like how much they use sheet music with their arrangements as opposed to improvising. So like how arranged their music is, which is a really good question. Hot tip, if you're ever in this situation, you're up on stage and people are asking questions, it's always best practice to repeat the question into your microphone so that everyone knows what the question is before answering it. I know this from my years of experience of doing this exact thing, in a stadium with people asking me questions. So, Chris, if you're watching this, take the advice from the real pro.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Well, I think it may be a little misleading to suggest that the composed stuff has to be written down, because what we do a lot of the time now is just kind of sit in a circle and compose, and very little of it ever really gets written down at all. when we first got together, the reason we got together was to work out this piece, The Blind Leading the Blind, that Chris wrote. A lot of that was written down just because it was quicker to send that all to us and for us to come as prepared as we could be.
Right. We weren't really a band yet.
We weren't even a band yet, so I was like, here's this music that I hope that we can play one day. But even that was, it would be a section of composed stuff and then a chord chart. And it would say guitar solo here. And then, if somebody had a composed line that should start sometime during the guitar solo, then that was written out. It would say, okay, fiddle starts doing this, and then.
But if a reading ensemble had just gone through that score and read it down, there would be massive blank chunks. Or like all of a sudden there'd be like one written part that was just going, and that would be it.
What a weird mix. This is exactly how I would expect bluegrass musicians to write out music. Because all these guys came from bluegrass, right? They play many other styles of music, but they all like grew up in bluegrass. So it's totally natural for them to, even if they're writing out like this neo-classical, string quintet piece, like The Blind Leading the Blind, to just have like big chunks with just a chord chart and like guitar solo here, which would never ever happen in some other styles of music. I mean, like classical music had cadenzas and stuff, which are kind of like that, but just having like very, very particularly arranged parts and then just blank chunks for improvisation is, I don't know, it kind of weird. Probably unique to this style of musician, I would guess.
Yeah.
But like, so for instance, we started with a tune called No More Yet. That's a recent thing. Oh,
It's glaring, so yeah.
there's kind of a costume change going on right
Exactly. Here, no, hold on. Go for it.
now. Yeah. I'm too distracted. This is awesome. Oh, okay.
It's a little bit more so you look at a little bit more of an academic error with the glasses.
Exactly. I've lost all my authority.
But the first thing we played is called No More Yet, and it was part of the Phosphorescent Blues sessions for us, and didn't actually make the record, but we liked it, so it made the EP. And that tune, for instance, is there's actually very little improvising going on over the course of that entire tune. In fact, kind of none.
There's no improvising.
Yeah, there's no improvising. So that basically goes down the same way every time. I mean, there might be strumming patterns that vary slightly, but not necessarily intentionally. And but there was a part, so we composed that together. And there was a part of it where we decided, hey, that we basically decided I would go write like a little counterpoint climax.
I've always wondered about their writing process because every media outlet talking about the Punch Brothers just glazes Chris Thile like so much. And if you watch like the documentary about them, How to Grow a Band, which we might do on the channel at some point, let me know if that sounds interesting. The whole like tension of the movie is, oh, what if Chris Thile gets bored with this band and then moves on? And it's like, yes, Chris Thile is really good, but I don't see the Punch Brothers as just being like Chris Thile being the lone amazing genius and then everyone else just following directions. Because all these other guys are phenomenal world-class musicians also and great composers. Noam, phenomenal composer. I haven't really listened to much of the other work of Gabe, Paul, and Chris Eldridge. But, I mean, they're all phenomenal musicians. So I just know that it's not just, Chris, like, the lone star, genius. It has to be very collaborative, but then any sort of media outlet is just Chris Thile, I should say, not Chris Eldridge. But yeah, Chris T is just kind of the media darling. So I don't know. I feel like the other guys should get some more credit.
Thing after this section, let's play it from the. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
It's all right.
So that was Critter taking his low E string down to D, changing its entire identity.
Thanks for the input, Chris.
It's now an E string that identifies as a D string. We're actually going to try this with you here and you. No, you got it.
This is that might be.
Maybe we should write things down.
Yeah, so taking it from here, I'll nod at you when we get to the written section.
From where?
Let's do it from where the
The big one?
where the
All right.
Frenchy section gets loud.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Man, this is about the easiest part for Noam that I've ever seen. I was not aware that Noam played easy things. Like I thought that like everything he had to play just had to be ridiculously hard. But there he's just he's just playing single notes with the with the first and fourth string. We're not so different, you and I.
Here we go. Ready. Unwritten. So that's the section.
Such cool music. We need more bands like this. And if anyone needs a banjo player for one, I'm right here in my dreams. In my dreams.
We decided we wanted to try and get pretty contrapuntal and like contrapuntal in a considered way. There's was it Hartford called it country counterpoint?
You don't want inconsiderate counterpoint.